Welcome to the Legion Outriders podcast, a member of the Radio Free Tattooing Network.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
Your source for the latest Legion news, opinion, and analysis.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
John Archiquette.
Will somebody get this big walking carpet out of my way?
Matt Turner.
I'm not afraid.
And
my name is Jeff.
You will be.
What's going on, Outriders? John, Jeff, and Matt back at you again with your Legion Outriders podcast.
Yay! What do you have against spark speeders?
Everything.
Again,
I like them.
It's
the flying pegs.
base.
Get over
They're
it.
just gonna like it.
Hey, why don't you get creative, Mr. Hobby John, and have it flying over a broken ruin or something?
Because I have enough stuff to worry about. Plus, whatever. I just don't like the aesthetic. The reason why we even
So it's
start
not
with
just
that,
the flying pegs.
I just recently bought a Bark Speeder expansion set, even though I have two previously unbuilt Bark Speeders.
Which he's
home.
painted everything else from the new factions and two unbuilt Bark Speeders.
That means
now
your
it's
army's
three.
not finished.
Now it's three.
Now it's
right.
three. The reason
I might
bought
steal one from you. I'm going to run three of them against you. I'm going to
Okay,
change your
that's fair.
mind.
Well, the reason I bought it was because I needed to get, first of all, a link targeting array, because those only come in the expansion sets.
And the card
You
packs.
bought the card pack.
Yeah.
Well,
It's in the card pack.
I didn't buy a card pack.
Okay.
You didn't buy a
Well,
card
So there
pack?
we go. I throw away
You
so
got to
many
buy a card
cards.
pack.
Well,
I mean, you only
need
need 6 of them out of there, but
fair. All right. Well, the only reason I bought it was because I needed the bucket head for my Commander Wolf that I'm converting my Captain Rex into. And yeah, so I spent $29, $27 on essentially just one small piece because they're not selling the bits individually on eBay. I looked.
I can't wait for the FFG announcement that they're releasing heads, the head expansion for $5.
Either
Get
way,
all the heads you
I
need.
have it.
girl.
I'm almost done with my Commander Wolf. I'll show him up on the Legion page when he's done. But speaking of finished models, Jeff, you took a break from your movement tools.
Well, no, I finished the movement tools, so I had nothing to do. Barricades, I guess. I could have started working on those. But no, when Rex released, I decided I was going to go ahead and paint Rex. So my Rex is done. I just have to do the basing, which, that's the easiest thing, I think. So
Yet you
I'm doing
haven't done it
Geonosis.
yet,
Yeah, this is easy.
go get some Martian dust or
Yeah.
whatnot.
It's already sitting on my desk at home.
Nice.
But I like the way he came out. I might go back and paint the helmetless head.
Oh, okay.
So, but
Now,
that's-
wait a second. So walk me through the timeline here.
Yes.
You were soliciting advice for how to do Rex after you finished him?
No, I solicited advice 2 days ago. It was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After you
just
finished him.
finished him last night
Oh.
because I still had a little bit of had some weathering to do. So his the stripes on his arms and his helmet, they weren't chipped at all, and I wanted that chipped
Oh,
effect.
you wanted the chips.
Yeah. So
Oh,
I was
okay.
kind of
well, put up
waiting to do
some
that.
finished pictures
Yeah.
then.
You know, put all his little tallies on his helmet.
No, I thought about it and I practiced. Yeah. Are you gonna do it?
I'm not
Just
doing
pull
Commander.
a whisker
Okay.
from his beard
Yeah.
and use that to.
It's too
I
big.
mean, I'm working on the fangs for the for Commander Wolf.
Yeah.
The helmet things?
On the helmet, yeah.
Oh, those are eyes, man. Come on.
No, the ones in the mouth. He's got,
Oh,
like,
the ones in the
little
mouth.
jagged
Okay, I
lines.
haven't seen those. No,
That's
no.
tough.
Okay. Yeah.
Not as hard as the tallies, though. I can't imagine doing those tallies.
So I practiced on a piece of paper to see if I could get small, and I can get pretty small, but I just decided it wasn't worth it because I feel like I'm gonna end up messing up the model when it already looks good.
There's a guy that does a little thing on Fremont Street, a little booth, where he actually writes on grains of rice.
Yeah.
He writes people's names. You
So-
could probably pay him to put a couple tallies on there.
I don't know, maybe those tallies are pretty
Find
small.
out whatever brush he's got.
Yeah.
set.
Like,
That's
oh
a
yeah, he
problem.
counted up to
One
25 and also wrote me name Jeff.
All right, so we did this whole intro all out of order. Let's go back to basics here.
Okay.
So a lot of good things to talk about this week.
Oh, man.
We took a break, last week, and everything all of a sudden dropped today, pretty much. So good
Yeah.
timing, FFG. Thank
Yay!
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
They planned it all around us.
I know,
I
right?
don't think
That's
so.
yeah. No.
So
center
many
of the
things have happened since the last
universe.
time we recorded.
Yeah.
Though we had Disney Plus
Yep.
finally came out.
Oh man, yeah.
We had Jedi Fallen Order came out.
Oh,
Warfare
yeah.
Weekend happened.
Yep.
We got our first games in with Dooku and Rex.
Yep, our little local tournament.
Yeah, so
Discovered alien life, solved the energy crisis.
Oh God, I wish.
cured world hunger.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Kill all humans. There's no hunger. The robots had it right.
That's a modest proposal.
Yeah, it's the year 2000, man.
And then, of course,
distant
today
future.
the skirmish rules drop. So we're going to go through all that stuff. Tons of great stuff to go over.
And the R2 article. You forgot about that.
And
There's so
the
much stuff.
R2
Yeah.
article.
Yeah, totally forgot about that. Okay, dang.
I like 3P. I don't care what you guys say.
The clumsy kicks.
Yeah.
No, he's got pumped up kicks.
Every time I picture clumsy kicks, I keep thinking of the episode of Seinfeld where Elaine is trying to dance.
Oh yeah,
You're going to
yeah,
model
yeah.
your C-3PO
The
like
little
that.
kicks.
I don't know. He might fall over on somebody and cause them some damage, I guess.
So back to the movement tools you're working on, Jeff. So Jeff has graciously decided that his newest set of movement tools is going to go to one lucky listener out there.
Yep.
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 What's the? You want to give us
It's
a little bit more
the
information on
B1 versus the Jedi one that's
Yeah,
you
yeah,
put up on
so-
the Facebook and all that.
Yep.
So speaking of Facebook, that is how we're going to do the drawing. So if you have already liked us on Facebook, guess what? You're entered. Thanks, guys. If you haven't, go ahead and give us a like, and we'll do the drawing on next time we record. So you got a couple of weeks, even if you don't listen to this on release day, or even the day after release day, you got some time. Go hit that like button on Facebook.
Sounds good to me.
that? All right.
Is it good to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Disney
was
Plus. So
Was
Where's
the
my
carbonite?
excitement? There we
Yeah.
go. There we
Okay.
go.
So we've all been patiently awaiting the release of Disney Plus, not only for all of the movies, the cartoons.
Oh, I've been
and stuff,
impatiently
but
awaiting.
Mandalorian's finally out. Oh,
Yay! New episode tomorrow. I'm
yeah.
excited.
So we're 2 episodes in.
The
Thoughts
Adventures
so far,
of Baby
Jeff?
Yoda.
I haven't watched it yet. I've been watching all the cartoons.
Oh my
I'm just
God.
kidding. I'm kidding.
About to slap the taste out of your mouth.
Catching up on Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta.
That's so Raven.
No, I don't want to say too much because obviously there may
Yeah,
be
we're
people who
gonna-
haven't got to it yet.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I'm
Most
sorry.
of
We will
Europe.
say Baby Yoda because I think that is
Yeah.
ubiquitous and
Yeah.
everybody's seen that at least.
But I am really enjoying it. So Jon Favreau, I think, is a great director. I never realized he did so much directing on stuff, and I was looking at his list of
His filmography,
movies.
yeah.
And he's got a lot of good ones out there. He's got some misses, but I mean,
Yeah, a
he's
few.
got some really good ones. So I think he's doing a great job with The Mandalorian. I'm excited.
Well, he's
to
not
see-
directing every episode. I
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
want to start paying attention to which ones are doing which.
So
I think he's got about 4 of the 6.
no,
Or
he
more than
only
that.
has one.
Does he?
So Jon Favreau only has directed. He only directs one, and I think it's like the 6th episode. So
Okay.
none
Oh,
of them
really?
that
I'll have
have
to
been
go look
shown
at
yet are
credits.
actually ones he directed.
Maybe he was listed as producer because I thought I saw
I'm
his
sure
name
he's
on
working
a lot of
He's
them.
the showrunner.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like what David Benioff and D.B. Weiss were for Game of Thrones, that's what Jon Favreau is for this series.
So he has the overview, and then you have the director for
Exactly.
each episode.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I think if I remember correctly, I think Dave Filoni actually directed the first episode,
he might have been, yeah.
and then
There's another one coming up.
Got the guy's
You're-
name, but there's a Nigerian director who did the second one.
You're the guy who voiced IG. He does one.
Taika
Waititi.
Yeah,
he
he
does
does one.
episode 7.
Yeah.
Dallas Bryce Howard, I believe, is going to be
Bryce
doing
Dallas
one.
Howard.
Or Bryce
Yep.
Dallas Howard.
I like
Yeah.
Dallas Bryce Howard.
I think
Dallas
she does-
Carbon. Okay. Yeah.
You're channeling your inner Yoda today?
Yeah. That's it.
I think she does
Seagulls?
episode 5.
Yeah. And she's done some good stuff too. Like, there's a surprising amount of actors who are good directors.
True, yeah, and honestly, I think that
It's an industry.
Yeah.
one of the things I'll give this show a lot of credit for is it's giving a lot of lesser known directors a lot of experience, or a chance to really shine.
Yeah. And then they can find out who the good ones are to make movies.
I think what's nice
Yeah.
too is, I mean, we only have 2 episodes to go from, but there hasn't been like a great difference in direction between the 2 to where you could be like, ooh, I didn't like that one. Who directed it? You know, like that
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
So the direction that they're going with for the whole show seems really good.
I'm sure, and that's what Favreau and Filoni
Yeah.
and all those guys are just there to make sure it's on tone and,
Right.
it's all contiguous.
Rick Famuyiwa was the director of the second episode.
Okay,
He's a Nigerian director. He did a great job.
Yeah. I mean, yes.
It was fun.
Yeah. Take that, Jawas.
Oh, yeah.
We won't say anything else.
All right, so the other show that I've been binge watching now that Disney Plus is out is I'm finally getting around to watching Clone Wars.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Star Wars Rebels. God.
I watched
No,
the first
okay.
2 seasons
What?
before.
You're not-
the-
It gets better in 3 and 4 for sure, but
What does Rebels?
Yeah, it gets better.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm sold on Rebels. Like,
Yeah.
I'll go back and watch the rest of it. Rebels took me a long time to get into.
Yeah.
It took me probably
Slingshot, right?
3 or 4 tries before finally I persisted and got past the slingshot.
Did you keep starting over? That was your problem.
Yes.
Oh, well, God.
I watched like the first 4 episodes. Like, I just can't do it. I
Yeah.
can't do it. And I stopped. And then Matt like, no, you gotta try it, man. It's really good. And then tried again and didn't make it past the 4th episode. And then finally I sat down and I was like, I'm gonna force myself to watch this. Powered through like the first season and then it got better.
Yeah, you got to Clockwork Orange some of this stuff. You gotta want it.
But Clone Wars didn't take that.
Good.
Like, I sat down.
I think
and
you were
from the first
prepared.
episode-
Well, you had started watching on your own previously.
Yeah.
And you'd already seen some of the weaker episodes, shall we say?
So I didn't even think that like the episodes were that weak. I think it was more.
Have you gotten to the droid platoon yet?
I don't think so. So I finished the 3rd season, so I'm exactly
Wow,
halfway
you're going through it really quick.
Yeah.
I mean, they're shorter too, aren't they? They're like half an hour.
And he's probably painting while he's doing this
Exactly,
too.
yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So I'm paying attention to it, but I'm not like fully engrossed in it, except for like when there's lightsaber scenes or like
Lots of laser fire going.
yeah. But I'm not skipping any episodes. Everyone's kind of telling me like, oh yeah, skip the episodes that start with the political stuff, or I'm just powering through it,
Yeah.
just so I can get all the characters. Overall, really enjoy it. I think Anakin has really improved, in my opinion. I hated Anakin from the original 3 or the prequel trilogy. I really like him in this
He's
series.
great in Clone Wars, yeah.
I can empathize a lot more with him than I can with Obi-Wan because I'm sorry. But
Yeah,
like the whole
he had some
Batman
surprising
thing.
comments. Specifically, the things that John hates about Clone Wars are Cad Bane,
Wait, hold on.
Boba
Just
Fett,
wait.
General
Just
Kenobi.
wait. I actually have a top 10 list of characters I hate most
Oh, man.
in Clone Wars.
I'm
Starting to
stepping
spoil
all
it.
over it.
I thought you were going to relate to Anakin because you were born on a desert planet, but
I
don't
do
know.
hate sand.
Yeah.
I mean, Vegas, whatever. I hate sand. No, I just think that like he doesn't really mess around with the whole like, oh, I'm going to spare your life because it's the right thing to do. It's like, nah,
Yeah.
he straight up kills you.
Yeah.
But no, okay.
Also, John's famously racist against sand people, so.
The women and the children too.
I mean,
Wow,
he was
really?
so he was really whiny in
Shocking.
those first 2 movies, so I didn't like him in the first 2 movies. And then he like kind of turned badass in the 3rd one when he got evil. So
Yeah, but I think
Then he went 15% evil to like 193%.
Yeah, there wasn't really a
evil.
gradual transition.
No.
At least in this show, like
Well,
they're starting to
yeah.
show some of the gradual transition to the
Yes,
dark side.
you can see. We were talking about it.
There's
It's
a bit
like,
more nuance involved.
yeah, there he starts going towards pragmatism and then keeps sliding down a little bit further and justifications and.
I love how he I mean, we're free on spoiler alert for the show, right?
I'm
it's been out
pretty
for
sure.
like 9
yeah.
or 10 years,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, when he straight up just like goes and tortures somebody to get the answers to free, or I don't remember what exactly he needed to do, but he tortures somebody.
Yeah.
And Obi-Wan's like, I can't believe you did that. And everyone's like, it's not the Jedi way. And he's like, well, I was right. So I got the answer I needed.
So we see that kind of, foreshadowing his character instead of like Palpatine just saying, do it, and then dialing it up to 11
Yeah.
on the evil scale. So.
All right, so 10 worst characters so far through 3 seasons of Clone
You're going to
Wars.
break my heart on these.
Number 10, every Nemoidian character in the show. I mean, I always hated Newt Gunray, but every single one of them is just unbearable.
Is
And we
that
just-
legal?
We just lost Nick Freeman as a follower.
Yeah,
right?
that's it. Thanks, Nick. It's been fun.
We
See
appreciated
you
your
later, bud.
support. John did.
Yeah.
I mean, Nick Freeman only likes Newt Gunray because of just like the pure troll.
The troll
factor.
value. Yeah, that's fair.
Number 9, young Boba Fett. Enough said. He's just terrible.
I mean, he's a little kid.
Yeah, he's
He just saw his dad die. He's got a head in a bucket.
It should
Is it still in
remain.
there?
Still in there, I'm pretty
Okay.
sure. He just keeps it around. Yeah.
Number 8, Jar Jar Binks. No, I mean,
okay,
the
that's
fact
fair.
he's only at number 8 shows you
Yeah,
how much
that's
I
pretty.
hate these other
yeah, no
characters.
kidding. Damn.
Aura Singh, the bounty hunter chick.
okay, yeah,
who kind of like raises Boba Fett, but then like kind of like, oh, you're on your own.
Yeah.
Can't stand her.
She's
got
not a
tired of
very
him.
nuanced character.
She is an example of one of the things I hate most about the show, and it's what I call the Batman effect. It's the sparing the lives of evil characters just so they return again later and do the same thing they were doing before.
I mean, that's the trouble with episodic, kind of serials like this.
You can't just kill them off.
No.
I guess. The blue virus scientist at number 6.
The blue
He
virus.
was in one
I haven't,
episode.
I haven't
What
watched
are
all
you
these yet,
talking
so
He's in the first season, and
I don't even remember this.
he's the guy who's like, ah! That's like how he laughs. Not even joking.
Left quite an impression on you, young
he's
Padawan.
awful. Just terrible.
Imagine John has a notepad at home, like next to his TV, and he's just like, I hate this guy, and like writes his name.
No,
down.
I just did it in our group chat.
It's just full. Yeah, it's just a notebook filled with names and things that annoy him.
Oh my god.
Number 5, Cad Bane. And he
I think he'll get better.
maybe because like I said,
I
I'm
don't
3
think he's that
seasons in,
bad,
he's
honestly.
awful. First of all, the character is a complete rip-off of the main character from.
He's a Duros
what
with
was
a
it?
hat.
Was it Oddworld Odyssey, Stranger's World, or some terrible PC
What?
game from the mid 2000s? Oh, look
It's
it
a
up.
Duros.
Oh, okay. That number 1. That's why I kill all my Duros first in my units.
Now it is. Now you just
And that stupid hat. Oh my god. Yeah.
Well, they
Cad
had
Bane,
to.
number 5.
Unfortunately, Duros don't have a whole lot of like facial differentiation, so you got to go with some kind of affectation to make him stand out. A giant cowboy hat is definitely on brand
It's
for
not even
bounty
a cowboy
hunters.
hat though.
Whatever.
It's like a Carmen
Stalker
Sandiego
hat. Whatever. It's
Her hat
it's a
was red. I don't
sombrero
think it's-
stalker hat. But
Okay, I will pull up the Stranger's World, Oddworld Odyssey.
I know who you're
from the
talking about,
2000s.
yes.
A exact ripoff of that character.
I'm pretty sure the Duros were along way before.
Oh no! But I mean, just like the overall aesthetic of the character.
Oh, okay.
itself.
If you say
Number 4, Hondo Anaka.
Hondo
was
Hondo
obnoxious.
is a treasure. Well, he changes a lot.
Okay, well,
He's
over
in
the season.
Rebels.
you
right?
can't get much
Yes.
worse. And the voice
Yeah.
acting, I get it. It's a good job of voice acting, but it's also annoying. Can't stand him.
Well, what do you know?
Number 3, is Salacious B. Crumb in this show?
I mean, they've got
Whatever the
the-
race is, the
yeah.
one that follows around
Yeah.
Hondo and like
yeah.
shoots the tank blast at Anakin.
I mean, they're all supposed to be annoying, right? Those
Yeah,
little
the
creatures.
Kavokian monkey lizards or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The laugh.
I mean, they're in Mandalorian too.
All right. Oh yeah, that's probably my favorite. One of my favorite.
I was gonna
parts of
say, he
this
probably
episode.
likes that
Probably
part.
loves
Oh,
that
I
one.
loved it.
I bet they're delicious, and even if they're not, I'm eating them.
Number 2, and this one is probably gonna be one you're not gonna remember, but Tan Devo. He was the inspector that was in the episode where they're trying to investigate the murder of one of the senators.
Oh, was he the lieutenant guy that was
yeah.
like he was it was supposed to be like a Hitchcock type thing.
Exactly, except he was like blatantly wrong and was like just super arrogant.
Oh, okay, sure.
I'll pull up a scene with him later, and you'll be like, oh yeah, that guy.
No, I think I know who you're talking
And number
about.
1, Zero the Hutt.
Why?
Zero the Hutt. Oh.
Nah, I can't do the
So
voice.
I
Never mind.
no joke, like while watching the show, I'm like, what are the worst, like universally recognized
wrong with
worst
Zemo?
characters in Clone Wars? And I guess Zero the Hutt has like an entire Facebook page devoted to hating him. Apparently, he was also beloved by Dave Filoni and the rest of the crew, and they didn't understand why everyone hated him so much.
Because I don't know.
I
He
guess he was-
deviated too much from the Hutt norms, and people fear, what they don't understand.
And apparently, he was supposed to be based on Truman Capote. Interestingly
Yeah,
enough.
no, I get it. Totally.
But but thankfully, one of the episodes I just watched, he died, so I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Cool.
No more Zero the Hutt.
Well,
Can I get a copy of your list?
Yes,
So
absolutely.
yeah, we need to compare
FFG
notes.
releases, and I'll be like,
not
check,
create-
check, check. Oh, FFG.
I'm actively rooting against there being a Scum and Villainy faction because I feel like 7 of those 10
Oh,
would
Cad
be
Bane's
on
totally
there.
going straight. Aura Singh, yes, you're going to see them all, and they're going to be
hope
fantastic.
not.
The rules are going to be so good.
Oh, I hope
It's going to
not.
be a character sniper unit, so everybody's going to
Woof.
want to run. It's going to be a mercenary, so everybody can actually take Aura Singh, and it's just going to be fields of
And you'll
Aura
have
Singh.
to buy it, and you'll have to paint it.
Why are you? No, I will not. You can paint those on your own, Matt.
Oh, that's right. We've got a game we're talking about.
Yeah.
All right.
Fallen Order,
Fallen
real quick.
Order.
It's good. If you like Uncharted and like Batman, Arkham Asylum, and or Dark Souls, it's a good game.
Yeah.
I'm a little over halfway through it right now.
I'm still on the first planet. I'm getting off the first planet right now.
Oh, you're
But
really
I'm
slow.
pretty far behind.
I'm gonna go stream that later tonight.
Yeah.
But it's pretty short, right? I mean, we have
It
some
depends.
friends that have beaten it.
Yeah,
already.
I guess the quickest playthroughs are like on easy mode, just going straight to objectives with a walkthrough, 6 hours.
Okay.
People playing on hard, trying to get 100%, about 30 hours.
I think it falls into that category of how much you want to get out
Yep.
of your game.
Yep. How often you get stuck on stupid water temple puzzles?
I mean, there's a lot of puzzle.
There is a fair amount of
solving.
puzzles.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I compare it to like Uncharted or even like those segments of God of War. But it's good. I'm enjoying it.
Nice.
Yep, I like it too.
Anyways.
Nothing you've said about it has convinced me that I would want to play
I don't think
it
it would be your kind of game. I
mostly
think
because
there's
of
lots of people that it would
my
not be
own
their kind of
personal-
game.
Yeah.
taste.
It's a very like
I like Skyrim. I want to play it on my toaster. That's
it's
the
a
end.
story-driven game where you're basically just playing your way through the story, and they're watching the cutscenes, a lot of good voice acting.
Apparently, the story is very good at the end there, so I'm excited.
Cool. None of us have gotten to that, so we can't really speculate on that.
Well, I wouldn't say anything anyway. So
Yeah, you would. Anyways,
Just to you.
Dewbacks.
Oh, no. Warfare Weekend.
Oh, Warfare Weekend. Yes. Congratulations to the 4 people that got tickets out of there. So, Eric Reha, who won it overall, I believe, with Rebels. Ryan Jekyll. I'm going to put a J on that because it sounds cool. Empire. Leland Pina, whoever that is. Playing
heard that name before.
Separatists? Is that even a faction? And then Bradley Nimchik. Nimchik?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Close. I think
Playing
so.
Empire, so that's pretty good.
yeah,
That's a diverse top 4.
Yeah,
it's poor clones.
congratulations, guys.
So LJ gave us a little update as he was playing that weekend, and
Oh, you mean Leland?
yes,
Okay.
yes. How are you so bad at pronouncing names?
That's what he does. That's what he's known for.
Yeah. I mean, he's like, guess what? I just qualified with droids, and that, I mean, he's been playing droids for a while, so I know it's,
He's been talking about him and practicing and playing, so he put in his reps.
He even got some practice in with Dooku early too. So, and I know
Ripping
he's
some
really
steps.
looking forward. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's awesome that we've got some people actually successful with the new factions. We got
One of the new factions.
well, all right, clones have some work to do.
Yeah.
Jeff, we're relying on you
Wow.
to make clones happen.
Jeez. We need some more units for them, I think. Some
Well, for
special
sure.
forces. would
More
be good.
clones? They're going to be
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah.
They're clones.
Yeah.
What was Eric Reha running for Rebels?
Oh,
Was
I could pull it up
I think it was a
here.
Tauntaun
I think it was
list,
Tauntaun
wasn't
list.
it?
Yeah, probably.
The Rebels? Yeah, it was a Tauntaun list.
Almost definitely. Let's see. We got Rebel Officer, Luke Skywalker, 3 Rebel Troopers, 3 Rebel Commandos, 2 Tauntaun Riders, 1 Tauntaun Rider. Yeah.
Interesting. So he ran Luke with the Tauntauns, huh? Luke and
seems good
Rebel
to me.
Officer. Yeah. It was an operative Luke, was it? Oh no, of course not.
No, because he's not out
yeah,
yet, yeah.
regular strength.
I wasn't sure if we were talking TTS, but no. That's Warfare Weekend's a regular old model.
Traditional.
Yep.
Boring Luke.
But it's interesting that he only ran 3 core troopers.
Yeah.
I mean, you got your 3. Was it a sniper team? 3 sniper teams?
Yes, 3
Okay.
sniper
I mean,
teams.
you got a lot of work you can do from downtown.
Yeah, but it's a very diverse order. I
Did
mean,
you get to watch the game at all?
No, I didn't.
No. Have to talk
See
to
if we can find
Leland
it.
about that sometime, see how it went.
I think, as far as I remember, he said that it was a pretty competitive match. So,
Yeah.
which doesn't surprise me.
No. I mean, pretty
LJ's a
pretty
very
big
good
field,
player.
and
Yeah.
yes, lots of good players. So
And Rebels are
that's
well
awesome.
established. Yeah.
Maybe we can go next year and stand outside in the parking lot while they play inside.
Stand by the window.
Yeah.
Just tap on the
Hold
window.
signs.
18th century street urchins.
Please,
Please.
So yeah, speaking of Dooku, Dooku and Rex, we got a chance to play.
Hell of a segue there, bud.
Well, I mean, we were talking about Dooku before that.
Well,
Back to
okay,
it.
sure. Okay.
There was
yes,
there was a brief
Dooku-
mention of Dooku.
Yeah. Well, there is now.
Yeah.
Dooku and Rex came out last week, so we
Yep.
got a chance to get our first games in this past weekend with both.
Yeah, you played Dooku. I built Dooku.
Did.
I built
played
Rex.
Rex.
You
Yeah.
played Rex.
All right. So how do you feel about Rex? You
I like
you were
Rex.
doing some
Yeah.
work with him on the table.
Yeah, so I had Rex with Overwatch, which I know he only shoots out to range 2, but I figured I could use that extra range band for movement or whatever. And it kind of came up one time when you had a set of droids move into range 3, and I was like, I'm just gonna duck Rex behind the building here so you can't shoot at him. But I could have taken a shot at another droid unit. So I don't know. I like Overwatch on him. I think it's kind of cool. It gives you a bit more flexibility with him. But I like him. I think he's fun. I forgot tactical so many times because I just have not played with it ever. But I think that's a great keyword for him. His scouting party is amazing. I think he's going to be a good character if you can keep him alive, which Obi-Wan's there for. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm excited to play him and Obi together.
Did you? Because he doesn't have Pierce, right? Did you miss the Pierce?
No, yeah, it's I did miss the Pierce. He has sharpshooter, but he's rolling 3 red die, so I mean,
That's fair.
you only have a 1 in 8 chance of missing because he does surge for crits. And that's with no cover.
Yeah, that's
but
pretty good.
It's not too bad.
Nice.
Especially when you're playing against droids, where they're only getting 1 in 6 chance of saving anyway.
Right.
So
Go
the
scrap
Pierce
some
isn't
crankers.
as bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he and I played against each other.
Yep.
Yeah, because we had a doubles event.
We had a doubles event, but
yeah.
it was really like a teaching event.
Yeah.
We were both playing against each other with
newer
one
players. Yeah.
partnered, new player. So
Right.
I had another droid player playing Grievous with 3 B1 units. And it was a fun game. They both caught on pretty quickly. I didn't really get a chance to use Dooku a whole lot. I also badly misplayed key positions because when you rally around a building that isn't actually one of the key positions, apparently that's not a really good way to play.
So they just seeded you the building? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Apparently.
You can have that one. That's
You got some
fine.
bad intel.
Yeah. Oh, no, we were looking for 2247, not 2274.
Went to the wrong address.
He's good. I really like his command cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, his command cards are cool.
Having the Master of the Force too is something I've never really gotten to do before,
He's
so
a beast.
it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Not having charge or jump or scale or anything that really just like gives you movement shenanigans.
He's closer to
Kinda
kind of
sucks.
like a
He is
Vader
regal.
Algona.
He
Yeah.
strolls
He's got a
across the
cape.
battlefield.
Yeah.
He doesn't jump. That's nonsense.
I mean,
Yeah, but, like,
he's
if
got the one command card that opens up, like, was it Relentless?
Relentless,
Yeah,
Yeah.
relentless. Which I mean, that's a great one to use when you can get into that.
There's
range.
your charge.
yeah.
But when you've got no ability to jump, and you're a single model by itself, you're gonna have to hide behind a barricade to get cover 2, which means if you're gonna go over it, either you have to have environmental gear or you have to go the slow way around, which
So he's closer to like a Vader style play than like
Luke. He's faster
Yeah.
than Vader, but still I'm so used to playing Luke and other characters with jump or scale.
Yeah. I think Dooku's just fine the way he is.
I think he's good. Like I said, it's gonna take a little bit to get used to because most of the Force.
But I think he's got a lot of
saber
the tools that you appreciate in a Jedi, but with the Force Lightning thing that he's got,
Yeah.
plus being able to take Force Push.
He is
Master of the
nasty.
Force 2, as you mentioned. So you've got 2 ways to get people off objectives.
Yeah.
Plus his cards.
Exactly, and plus he's got a lot of stuff to interact with objectives. When
Yeah.
you choose to correctly identify the objective.
I think the bad thing is you had just like moved Grievous where he was like, I'm gonna climb this thing, I'm gonna run across this thing, I'm gonna go down this thing, I'm gonna be in base contact, I'm gonna attack this guy, I'm gonna attack everybody around him, and then you're like, I'm gonna move Dooku. Okay. Like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Because Grievous does have so much offensive
Yeah.
capability, and I guess maybe fits my playing style a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, you like
Are
have your
you coming
first
around on
wave.
Grievous?
I've never been down on Grievous.
Oh, okay.
I've always thought Grievous is outstanding.
But I think he's your offensive weapon, like up front, and then Dooku is right behind him, finishing off whatever he can't
Yeah,
take care of.
I think you're right.
Lets the robot do the heavy lifting
Yeah.
for him.
But I'm looking forward
Cyborg,
to,
sorry guys.
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to getting some more games with both of them together.
Yeah.
Because I think they have some unique synergy. Plus, LJ's been a big proponent of running them together, so we'll get some more games.
Yeah,
and
just
I'll-
listen to him.
I mean, I should. He's a better player than I am.
Right.
He wins a lot.
Dewbacks. So
I'm excited.
Is that a thing?
Dewbacks
Yeah.
are apparently
They
the
are a
Dewback
thing.
was over.
Yeah.
Well, I did happen to notice a big crate of them sitting out front in the store getting ready to get put on sale tomorrow. So exciting.
So we already are kind of seeing some lists come out. Maybe it's not making as big of an impact right away on the meta as Tauntauns did, but
No.
I think Tauntauns they gave that like deep strike capability that Rebels didn't have. Just the speed. Imperial players already had it with the bikes, and we really didn't have. I mean, outside of the
didn't really
air
want
speeder.
it.
Yeah,
We had it and just like, whatever. Park them in the garage.
Double air speeders. That was your deep strike.
Yeah.
Deep strike once and then you died.
but they're not an analog for Tauntauns.
No, and I'm
No.
glad that they're not. I don't think they should be. I've heard people say that they're slow, or read people say that they're kind of slow, but and they're big, so they're easy to be targeted. Of course.
Yeah, the big thing I get. Everything else I kind of like that I see on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they have some armor, You know, their heavy weapons are good. That flamer is definitely going to have some play, especially in a droid meta now. They're not going to square up well with something like Tauntauns, but like I said, they do different things.
I mean, suppressive on the melee attack too is pretty cool. The shock prod and slavering jaws or whatever.
I think that's where they might shine, is if they can get into that melee range. It's just the matter of, do you have enough other threats out there on the table to distract from that lumbering beast?
Yeah, the RTC 97 whatever seems good. You got another range 4 option, so you can be playing things while you close. And
so it's versatile. You don't have to.
T21's I guess nice for a couple of crits if you're really looking to fish for them. But I'm gonna give them a try this weekend, see how they do.
How many are you looking at picking up?
I'm going to start with 1. I want to get 2. I feel like every time I've gotten 2 of a thing, it's always backfired, like 2 ATSTs, 2 land speeders.
I think 2 ATSTs are... Wait, no, that's the big one. Never mind.
2 ATRTs?
Yeah, the rebel player in my brain.
Yeah,
2 ATSTs.
The right answer is 3 ATRTs. So.
Yeah.
I think running 2 dewbacks actually is probably better than just running 1.
I would like to, but they're expensive.
Right?
Yeah, like 110, 115 points or something.
That's base?
Upgrade them?
Yeah.
Well, 90 points upgraded.
Okay, 90 points, okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can take them naked, but you're better off just putting at least like the flamethrower on it.
Yeah.
Or at least some kind
Something.
of
I think the flamethrower is the more expensive option. I don't remember. They're all not too bad.
Yeah. I guess it depends on what you want them
We'll
to
give
do.
it a try. See how they do. I'm thinking about running them with Vader or something. Put a lot of forward projected threat. Some shore troopers.
How are you going to have me painted up?
I don't know. How are you going to have them paint them up?
Well, that's what I'm asking you. Do you want me to paint them up like
green?
Or
Yeah.
what?
No, we talked about this when they first were getting released. I want to kind of, since we do the molten bases for the Mustafar,
you want them like lava monster?
an ashen gray with like a red underbelly or something.
Okay.
Maybe like the Magmadrons or whatever.
Oh, Magmadroths? Okay.
Yeah, those guys.
That'll be difficult, but okay. We can
talk about it.
But
instead of
painting
more of a ashy gray kind of
okay.
coat instead of the green.
Okay. Yeah, that works. Yeah, we can work something.
Just toss it in a fireplace and get some ashes on it. I mean, you might want to wait till the fire's out. Or not. I don't know.
Jeff, you're contributing. Thanks, bud.
Just try to...
A+ for effort.
Just try to help out here.
My name is Jeff. Well, on that note, we're going to go ahead and take a break because Jeff ruined the show.
Yeah.
Thanks, bud.
We'll come back and then take a look at the new Skirmish Mode.
You're listening to the Legion Outriders podcast, a member of the Radio Free Tatooine Network, recorded on location at Power 9 Games. Whether you're looking for the latest releases from Legion, X-Wing, 40K, Magic, or any of our other extensive inventory of board and card games, head to power9games.com and use coupon code OUTRIDER10 to get 10% off your order. Plus, shipping is free on orders over $100. Now, back to the Outriders.
Welcome back, Outriders. John, Jeff, and Matt. So before we get into the Skirmish Mode conversation...
But I want to talk about that. It's cool.
Just
we'll get there.
Wait.
Okay.
Get that cattle prod out.
Fine.
First thing we want to talk about is the LVO. So LJ is running LVO.
Yep.
Our good friend and the second place Warfare weekend finisher. He's kind of running things there, and because we have such a huge turnout this year, he's kind of putting the call out for new tables.
Yeah, because I think
There
they're
will be
terrain short. Yeah, for tables right now, they have a lot of
Well,
players.
because they more than doubled the size of the event from last year. So,
And every event that we've had with LJ running it and Brendan and there's a lot of people who are contributing terrain. I know Dan Wolf Games has been giving some stuff, and I mean
I'm
always
sure Sean Morris and those guys. Yeah.
So there's always been some phenomenal terrain that has been there. But like I said, more players means more tables, which means we need more terrain. So he kind of issued a challenge to see who can bring the best terrain setup.
Well, that's obvious. It's our own Dan Roberts.
With
Dan
the Star Tours board.
Dan's Star Tour board is
It's amazing.
pretty awesome.
Yeah. It just keeps getting better too. He keeps adding little bits and pieces here to make it better.
Yeah,
it's going to be a full
great
diorama.
Yeah. You have to get a ticket. You have to get a fast pass.
You actually have to stand in line for 2 hours to play at the board. So,
but I know there's some people out there. I've seen the Facebook page,
Yep.
the hobby, the terrain page has got some great stuff. So if you're going to LVO this year, you want to get in on this competition, bring your best terrain, set up your best table, and we'll see who wins.
Yeah, so they have details on the Star Wars Legion Facebook page. I'm just going to run through this real quick.
Yeah.
So you email your entry to lvolegionevent@gmail.com. They're looking for your name, your table name, 4 to 7 photos, probably from different angles, and then a short description of the table. And you have until 15 December. So those are all the big details off of that. And then I think the prize is a foam cutter. So if you already have great terrain, you can get more good terrain.
Yeah, there you go.
Wait, so you have to have the registry by December 15th, or you have to have actually tables done by December 15th?
It looks like they want pictures by that date.
Oh,
because
okay.
January is
So
LVO.
they can say, "Hey, John's awesome looking table. Why is there a Black Hawk helicopter on it?" So you have time to respond and say, "Oh, I thought it was Fallujah that we were doing."
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Very different.
Yeah, I do need to get actually, do that Felucia table. So
Yeah.
this may be a good inspiration to knock that out.
Yeah, hit the pet store and you're done. Pet store.
Pet store.
Go to the aquarium store. There you go. The aquarium.
Why are there live geckos on this table?
Well, the ferret's a strong choice. I like it. He's cute, but the hamster wheel's a nice touch.
Yeah. They sell aquarium supplies at pet stores.
Yeah.
Are there still pet stores? Is that still a thing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Where do you get your pets? Amazon?
He doesn't. He
Yeah.
hates things.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just eat them.
Yeah.
All right, so skirmish mode.
Yeah.
We got a
Huge
kind of
announcement
surprise
today. Yeah.
announcement today.
Yeah. They were like, "Hey, here's R2 in an article about that." But surprise,
Which is cool.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, the surprise factor on this is because I like 500-point games, and that's usually what I go to teach new players, especially with all the new starter boxes. So I fully endorse this.
I think it's nice too because you're used to these 2-hour or longer games if you're playing casual. So it's nice to have a shorter option available.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, it's smaller tables. So for people who are we're lucky enough to have a store with a lot of tables, a lot of terrain. But if you're in a geographically limited space where you don't have
the back of a Volkswagen.
Exactly.
Your parents' basement.
Somewhere very uncomfortable.
Yes.
If you have limited terrain, you only have a 3x3 space to play, a kitchen table, whatever. This is great. This is really fun, fast way to play the game. We had a 500-point module that I think Kevin Valliere made a while back, and that was always a lot of fun to play.
That was fun.
It's also a kind of homebrew.
It's a homebrew. Yeah.
We had some 3x3 stuff from the from FFG, but it was
the operations and all that, which they haven't done any of those. In a while.
So I mean, and that's kind of what he talked about during the stream. Is he said, this is similar to the operations, but it's it's a full set of
because that
rules
was basically if it wasn't we didn't want to just tee up, I would do like the capture the droid scenario. That was always my go-to for a 3x3.
Yep.
So just for army list creation, you have one commander, right?
Yep. One commander.
And only one.
Only one.
Operatives, just one.
Only one.
All right. So how many core?
2 to 4 core.
Wow.
So I mean, it's kind of almost a full 800-point game cut in half.
Yeah.
A little bit.
2/3.
Yeah. How many special forces?
Special forces is 2. Support is 2.
Okay.
And then you can have 1 heavy unit.
Good. So you don't have people like Matt trying to try
double
out
ATSTs.
Double ATSTs and 500.
Imperial Becky says she needs all of the Imperial armor to
Imperial
support.
officer and just some naked troopers and 2 ATSTs. No.
We weren't expecting special forces.
All right. So I mean, it's pretty standard, I guess, for a shortened game.
Yeah, it seems good.
5 rounds, right?
5 rounds instead of 6.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Something else that was different was when you're selecting your side of the table, you can choose any side of the table. It's not the left or right
goodness.
or one side or the other.
It's a square.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
That's kind of cool.
So you can just.
But they have to be
kind of
opposing
rotate it.
one another, right?
Yes,
you can't
yeah.
like have somebody pick one that, side adjacent.
I'll start
to the
right
other
next
one.
to you. No.
And I'll be at the 90-degree angle. And
Yeah. Yeah. So you have blue player, they pick any side of the table, and then the red player will set up on the corresponding side based on the map they choose.
And then for the actual battlefield condition cards, they've got 4 for each, just like a regular setup.
Yep, it's and they're it's the regular thing. 4 objectives, 4 conditions, and 4 map.
I'm so happy that they actually put out the cards for this right away instead of like coming up in 2 months.
Yeah,
look
and so
for
it's a PDF. You print it out. You cut the cards out. So I mean, I know there are going to be some people who are like, I want printed cards. You mean, you print them yourself. We got it immediately as a surprise.
That's fantastic. Yeah,
I wouldn't complain too much on that. Throw it in a sleeve. You're good to go.
So what are the mission cards?
So the missions, a lot of them are very similar to the 800-point game, which is kind of cool. Yeah, just scaled. So you have Breach. It kind of sounds like Breakthrough. Each player gets 2 victory points for each of their unit leaders within range 1 of the enemy edge of the battlefield. So within range 1, not within range 1 of the enemy edge. Okay, yeah. So it's
within or completely within.
Within. So yeah, I mean it's like Breakthrough. Yeah, Breakthrough. Pivotal positions. This one's like key positions. You have the objectives token on the center of the map on a piece of terrain, and then you place 1 objective token on each on a piece of terrain, both sides. I'm just kind of skimming through this. Sorry. And then obviously they have ranges that you have to abide by. And then you score points for who has the most unit leaders in base contact with that piece of terrain. So key positions.
Key positions. Okay.
It's just pivotal positions.
How many total were there that you pick out for that one?
It looks like 3. So the center, blue player, starting with the blue player, and then red player.
So yeah, same exactly as key positions.
Yeah.
What else?
Elimination. This is the first time you are going for straight defeats. So at the end of the game, each player gains 1 victory token for each defeated enemy unit, and 1 additional victory token for each defeated enemy commander, operative, and heavy. So bring that ATST so it can get blown off the board.
I want that in a full game.
Yeah, see, that's the first one we've seen that actually benefits somebody running a lower activation count with more elite stuff.
Yeah, because you're harder hitting, but
bully the small objective grabbers and things and get victory points. I want that in an 800-point format.
I mean, there is a chance that we could see some of these. We have the bunker coming out that might come with new objective cards. Who knows? That's just speculation. Don't take it for whatever.
We speculate here.
Yeah, the last one is control. Place 1 objective on the center of the battlefield. This is the same as intercept. So you're just trying to control that one position.
Okay.
Yeah. At the end of rounds 2 and 4, each player gains 1 victory token. If they control that objective token at the end of the game, you get 2. If they control the objective, you control it if you're range 1. Or the more units
is it
at
just
range
1?
Just 1. Yep.
Yeah. So King of the Hill kind of thing.
King of the Hill. Yep.
Nice.
Gotcha. That should be fun.
Again, like similar to intercept, but you only have 1 objective.
Yeah, I like those. Those sound really good.
Yeah, sounds fun.
It'll be a lot of fun with Dooku.
See, it's going to be the Jedis. They're going to be a terror on the 3x3s.
Yeah.
That was always where Vader was kind of, wrecking face.
Well, and that's what they talked about. Sorry, John.
No, go ahead.
That's what they talked about in the stream today. That's why they had that 1 commander limitation, because having Palp and Vader, I don't think you could fit that in a 500-point list. That is your 500 points.
Well, you can only bring 1. Yeah. Unless you bring
that's what I'm saying.
Vader.
Like, that's why they...
Oh, man. My wheels.
Oh.
Yeah. We're just going to have the character off with, 1 unit of Stormtroopers.
But you need at least 2.
Stormtrooper B-boys,
But, yeah, that's what they were talking about with only having that 1 commander option, was it can get pretty powerful with those combos. Oh, God. Matt's doing math.
You can totally do it, yeah. 2 naked Stormtroopers, Operative Vader, and Palp. That's the list.
And then you move speed 1 across everything and never get anywhere.
But,
Operative Vader's faster, that's right.
There's going to be a lot of, different units that are going to be more powerful. I think Fleet Troopers are going to see a little bit more use.
Yeah, because that range 2 bubble is much easier to get into on that small board.
I think snipers won't be as powerful.
Nope, because you can reach everything.
I kind of want to try a scout team now with
a regular unit of scout troopers. Yeah,
that could be fun.
That could be usable.
I've ran one of those before. They're fun.
I mean, they're not overly expensive, especially with aggressive tactics now. Because
sure,
they don't.
Yeah. Good
so
point.
You get aggressive tactics on them. That's actually not too bad. Having the short range kind of mitigates a lot of the issues that they would see. Same with the Fleet Troopers. I think Imperial Royal Guard will be good. Any of the melee heavy units, I think, will be good. Wookiees, I think, are going to be outstanding.
Yeah, you can finally play Wookiees.
Leia, I don't know if she's going to be as good. Same with Veers.
He just played Wookiees. I didn't play Wookiees.
Oh, well, get your crap together.
Other people may see the light that Wookiees bring to the table. It'll be cool to see some other units on the table that maybe didn't necessarily get as much playing time.
I think it gives you a good chance to play those units.
Scout Troopers did search for defense.
They do search for defense?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, like the Rebels search for offense.
But still, being able to search for offense with black dice would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then as far as the deployments, they are kind of similar?
Yeah, so the only one that's really different, there's two that are really different. You have one called Face Off, and you basically pick the center of the map, and then you draw a range 2 bubble, like around that.
It's a 3-point line.
Sure. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It basically
on a really
just looks
small,
like...
yeah, on a really small basketball. I mean, how many people know sports?
I mean, not enough, but it looks exactly like a basketball court.
Yeah, it does. That's a good example. And then the other one is meeting engagement. You know,
do I need a sextant to be able to?
No, Matt. I'll show you how to do it.
One of those pointy, leggy, walkie compass things.
Yeah.
That's a sextant. You're correct.
Oh, is that it?
That is
Okay,
a
sweet.
Well, no, I mean a sextant is for navigating the ocean.
It
Isn't
is, but
yeah.
I mean, it looks like a compass. Like,
Yeah,
a
but
compass
he wants a
might
compass.
be. Well, they're the same.
I want a spirograph.
What's the? Oh God, it's been so long since I
For
did this
geometric measurement, it is
stuff.
a compass. Yes.
What's the half circle one? The
Protractor?
Protractor. Yeah, that's what you need. I'll just buy you the right size protractor.
Or you just save yourself a couple bucks and get an amateur tractor.
Oh God.
Oh, jeez.
So we got some squares and squares over there.
We should be like, that's the end of the.
That's it.
That's the end of it, guys.
Yeah,
that's
the
the
end.
end forever. Matt just killed it.
We gotta trade the blame a little bit.
I need to download the loser game show host sound from Price is Right.
Yeah, so the other one that's really different is meeting engagement. You have 2 squares on opposing corners, which is kind of cool looking, I guess. And then you have flanking positions. That's sort of like advanced positions, the L shape. And then battle lines, good old classic battle lines.
What do we have for battlefield conditions, the green cards?
So we have clear conditions, no effect.
What does that do?
No effect.
Oh.
We have, oh man, I hate you, Matt, so much. We have War Weary. That's a new one. When checking whether a unit's panicked, the range at which a unit can use a friendly commander's courage instead of its own is reduced by 2.
Ooh.
So it really shrinks that commander's courage bubble down.
Interesting. I'm glad that they spelled it right. I see wary and weary interchanged a lot these days.
Is it wary?
No, it's weary. You're right.
Weary?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I said it right. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I feel like I can hear Josh raging about the reduced command range even more.
How do they? It's 500 feet away. They have radios. Can we go back to podcast 1?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
The bad old days.
This is a space game.
Back when we thought
I always cringe a
HH12s were
little
the
bit.
best.
Yeah, whenever we get to meet somebody who listens to the show, they're like, "Oh yeah, I started listening to the older stuff." I was like, "Ooh,
This take did not age well.
just don't." You
Go ahead and skip to the most current episode.
guys want to talk about bolt action?
And then the other 2 we have are improved defenses. This one's kind of cool. It's sort of like what we did at LVO. Starting with the blue player, players alternate placing barricades on the battlefield until 4 barricades have been placed. When you place a barricade, it must be placed inside your deployment zone or within range 1 to 2 of your deployment zone. Each barricade must be placed horizontally, so you can't climb your... You know they had to put that in there, right?
Did they?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, when you've got people who are literally like basing their mortar troops with one leg on the base and the rest of it hanging off, then you know there are people who are trying to put their barricades horizontally.
I'm just saying. It says I get to place it, not how I have to place it.
Oh man. And then
sorry, I'm not ready to leave
No,
that
go
one
ahead.
yet because that sounds cool on
Yes.
a 3x3 with that many barricades. That's going to be like World
Yeah.
War I, just trench
Yeah.
warfare like crazy.
Yep, getting up in the barricade
Yeah.
position and just
We're going to
hammering
sit
at your
here
opponent.
and we're going to see who can roll the most crits.
Yeah.
Well, I think especially.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about
It's a
this
very
the other
different
day.
game. Yeah.
How I was saying that we needed more scatter terrain on our board, and I think that fits this perfectly because you have people who might not always have those a lot of terrain variety. So use your barricades.
You know, on a 3x3 table, I think the lack of terrain comes even into play more than
Yeah.
it would on a standard 6x3.
Yeah, and you have a smaller army, so
Yeah.
when you lose something, that's what 1/5 of your army potentially.
I mean, if you remember back to the first demo games we were playing with this, when it was just Vader and Luke, and then the stormtroopers that came with it. I mean, how many times did it really devolve into a World War I style No Man's Land? Where it's
and that's why I stopped putting like barricades in, like maybe one on each side.
Well, we started putting more line of sight blocking stuff in there.
Right.
We started diversifying our terrain more, which I think you have to do, especially on a 3x3, just so you can get some line of sight blocking, some barricades.
Right.
Some,
area terrain.
The last game we played on a 3x3, I thought the terrain was fantastic on that because it had a nice mix of, we had the buildings in the middle and then some like craters and stuff around, so nice diversity.
Especially when the possibility for an ATST to be out there, which I mean on a 3x3 table, an ATST just basically turns into like the Eye of Sauron, just blasting everything that moves because you can't hide from it.
I got to be on the receiving end of that one last week. So.
Did you?
How'd it feel?
Yeah.
Tell us.
Shut up. I don't think I've won with the ATST on a 3x3 yet, so...
No, you definitely beat me on a 3x3
did I?
with an ATST. Yeah.
Forget it.
It was when we had I think the last time we had a 400-point tournament, and you trotted out an ATST, and I was like, great.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, it sounds like something.
That sounds like something you would do.
The Imperial armor will crush all before it.
So... I mean, that's a pretty cool condition card. It's different than anything we'd seen before.
Right. And then the last one is Dawn, which is basically limited viz. So during the first round, units cannot perform ranged attacks beyond range 2. So
nice. Yeah, I mean, that's probably good. It reduces it to only 1 turn as opposed to 2.
Yep. Yeah.
You know who's going to be really good on these kind of games? R2-D2.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
No, definitely. Yeah. I think he'll be good. I think...
He's going to run in for the touchdown, spike it, and just like do his little droid dance.
That's when you use all 3 of R2's cards.
So let's talk about R2-D2 real quick because we did get the preview article this week, and some of the stuff we knew about him already. The command cards he came with are like every operative. They're very self-serving.
2 of them. One of them you can.
One of them is him and another trooper.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. I really thought that maybe we'd just see him run by himself, but I think with C-3PO, he offers a lot of other synergy, especially, if you want to run him with Han and Chewie.
Really good.
Or clones. I mean, being able to pass a token and they can all share those tokens is great.
Sure.
Yeah, especially throwing it to Rex, like that would be great.
Yeah.
I think especially with clones because of having the ability to add another cheap activation is huge.
It's not super cheap when you put 3PO in there because it does go up to 50 points. Matt, he's raising his hand.
Because I have a dumb question.
Yeah.
What's that?
Do you have to keep 3PO in range and cohesion?
Yes.
Yeah, they're a unit.
So you can't separate them out.
R2 is the unit leader.
Right.
And then it's basically like a heavy weapons upgrade, but it's something different because it's a detachment.
I did see that thread.
A lot of confusion about that. Yeah.
Is there, though?
Yeah. Okay. There is. Because in the rules, it's a little...
they probably could rework it a little bit. But I think the intention's clear.
Yeah. Well, and even if you read the article says R2 can go by himself or he can take C-3PO with him. Yeah.
Drag him along for the ride.
Yeah. So what we're talking about in the Facebook page, there was a lot of confusion about always, because if you look at the detachment wording, it says that those two are always seen together, and so some people were taking that very literally. But I mean, it's kind of true where you have like not all not all fingers are thumbs, but all thumbs are fingers. Yeah. So it's that. If you take R2, that's fine. If you take 3PO, he has to be with R2. You can't take 3PO by himself. So
makes sense.
Yeah.
I think there's probably some use for running R2 by himself just so he could fit in a land speeder.
Yeah, or for...
Because you couldn't do it if he's got C-3PO with him.
Get the accelerator.
2 models. But yeah, you can put him in a land speeder.
Yep. And if it's on breakthrough, man, like
clearly
you just race him over there.
Yeah,
R2 needs a special rule where he can be the third person in a land speeder. Because we saw Luke, 3PO, R2, all in an X.
I mean, just kick Splimo
and Obi-Wan.
Oh, that's a good point.
Sorry, Splimo, we still love you.
Yeah. He can stick to the underside of the carriage.
If you've magnetized him properly.
Yes, in the butt.
Oh, man.
I'm looking forward to running R2 and C-3PO. And I've always liked running the Han, Leia, Chewie list, and I think...
That was my LVO list, and I liked it. I had a lot of fun.
You ran that for LVO too?
Yep, it was Han, Leia, Chewie, ATRT, some snipers, all the things you hate.
So
Sniper.
this is not actually I
You didn't know that?
Those. I love our
Oh, okay.
ATRTs.
Yeah, they're even better now.
So the list I was putting together for LVO this week, no joke, is pretty much that, except for with R2D2 and C3PO, and then 6 naked trooper squads.
I was totally thinking about revisiting my LVO list. That's why I'm over here giggling, because he's doing the same thing I'm doing.
Jeff, we have to stop thinking alike.
Yeah.
Thinking about your naked troopers.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to do Commander Wolf in the Wolf Pack.
Well, when he comes out, I can, right?
No,
when he's an official model.
He won't be an official model.
Yeah, he won't. But I will paint up one of my models like him eventually, probably, with the Wolf Pack.
Okay, fair.
Maybe not him specifically, but some of the Wolf Pack for sure. Because I'm not doing my whole army like you are, because you have your whole army like a Legion, like one whole Wolf Pack Legion, yeah. So I'm kind of breaking mine down to squads. So
You're doing clone chapters?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great way to diversify them
Yeah.
and have them stand out from one another.
It makes it easier for me. Like visually, I like to look down and see different colors. So, yeah.
Well, diversity is an old wooden ship using the Civil War arrow.
Sure.
Wait,
one thing I remember.
what?
Anchorman.
Oh. God, wow. Okay.
One thing I did want to talk about that I totally forgot when we were talking about Clone Wars, and we brought it up with C-3PO and R2-D2. Probably somebody told me to skip the C-3PO R2-D2 episodes, and if I would have missed probably my favorite episode so far.
Wow.
The one where R2-D2 and C-3PO go on a shopping trip in the market.
Oh, yeah. Did you get the little plumbus freaking fruits?
And one of the salespeople basically convinces C-3PO to go for a spa day because he needs a manicure.
Oh my god.
C-3PO is the most extra character ever.
That's fair. I feel like Anthony Daniels is probably the most extra person out there. So
Probably, but
that sounds
episode
fantastic.
was a gem.
Okay, you're so all over the place,
So
man.
everything everybody else hates, he loves.
Yeah,
And everything everybody loves, he hates.
He is like Star Wars hipster man.
Yeah.
Save all the Cad Bane episodes. Give me more R2-D2 C-3PO shopping spree episodes.
Hey man, you do you.
Yeah. I mean, I can't hate him too much because he likes Rebels like I do. So.
Yeah.
All right, so anything else you want to talk about the skirmish mode?
No, I think that covered pretty much everything. The rules are pretty simple.
I know we were supposed to get a game in this weekend, Jeff. Are we
Yeah.
gonna try the skirmish?
Do you want
to,
to,
do a
or do you
full
want to practice
800?
for LVO? That's a tough call, right?
Yeah.
I think we'll save this for another, maybe the weeknight or something. Where
I'll
we
see
don't
if I
have much
can
time.
snake one of the, because you've only got a couple hours, so I might try
Yeah.
to snake one of the other guys to do a 500 point.
But yeah, the rules aren't much different. It's 3x3, 1 round shorter, like all the stuff we've already said. None of the stuff out of the main rules reference guide is going to change. It's all rules you already know, just on a smaller
Exciting.
map.
You got any games lined up this weekend?
No.
Okay.
Just painting.
Just painting.
His sad
Just
life.
being naturally good at games.
Watching Clone Wars and painting things.
I mean, it's a pretty effective way of spending my time. I don't know.
He's just afraid of how attracted he is to Cad Bane.
Yeah.
No.
Is that what you're doing? You're gonna
Fight your
green?
feelings, sir.
He's gonna green stuff some hats onto his
Revealed
Taros this
yourself,
weekend?
you have.
Just hate paint.
He's gonna get a manicures 3PO when he comes out. He's got little sparkle fingernails on there.
All right, guys. Well, I think it pretty much wraps it up for this week.
Have we destroyed Star Wars enough yet?
I think so.
Okay, good.
Did we hit everything? We got everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Check you out in 2 weeks.
You've been listening to the Legion Outriders podcast, a member of the Radio Free Tatooine Network.
Only now, at the end, do you understand?
For more from the Outriders, make sure you like us on Twitter @Legion Outriders, subscribe to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Legion Outriders, and make sure you like and subscribe to the podcast. Thanks for listening.
You're all clear, kid. Now let's blow this thing and go home.